Let's talk about how you take a fraction and change it into a decimal and into a percent. Now, if you recall that every fraction can also be looked at as a division problem. If you think numerator divided by denominator, that is all you need to do to change your fraction into a decimal. Whether you are able to use a calculator or not, you just divide the numerator by the denominator. Okay, so if we have the fraction 3/7, we take 3 and we divide it by 7 to get the decimal number. Now sometimes when you do this, well, a lot of times when you do this, you get a really long ongoing decimal number. And that's okay. Sometimes your work will ask you to round it off to a certain place, and other times it won't. 3 divided by 7 actually happens to give us a repeating decimal. So I will leave it at that, and I will take and write the repeating bar. Let's pretend that's a straight line. Now, to change this into a percent, to change a fraction into a percent, we first have to change it to its decimal form. Once we're in the decimal form, we can use our calculator and we can just multiply that by 100. Because remember, percent means per 100, okay? And we get 42.857 and so on. And usually you would round that to the nearest whole percent, and so we get 43%. Now, you may also recall having been told that you don't even have to actually multiply by 100 on your calculator, because remember, when you're multiplying by multiples of 10, which 100 is, it's just like jumping that decimal point over. And since we're multiplying it by 100, we would move that decimal point 1, 2 places to the right. And you can see there it would be 42.857 and so on. And so that is what you get when you multiply by 100. And that's how we get 43%. So let's take the next one as another example. Okay, our fraction is 10/11. So to change that fraction into a decimal, we just take our numerator 10 and we divide by our denominator 11, and we get another, let's move that down lower, we get another repeating decimal. It's ongoing, 0.9090990, and on and on and on. Okay, so I'm going to put the repeating bar over it. Now, to take the fraction 10/11 and find its percent, I first have to change it to a decimal, 10 divided by 11, and then multiply that by 100. Or again, move that decimal point 2 places to the right. And I'm going to round it again to the nearest whole percent. So if I move my decimal point, it would be 90.9. So that means I should round it to 91%. And that's how you take a fraction and change it to either a decimal or a percent.